Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, we are from Group 3. I'm Annisa Aulia Urohmah, and then my partner Silviana. We will present about the audiolingual method. Okay. What is audiolingual method? In learning English, there are several methods, such as speaking, writing, reading, and listening. By this way of listening, many students have difficulty. Due to the fact it needs some effort to improve the student ability in listening. Brown state in 1194 and 135. The study that this combination with no idea about the language learning coming from the discipline of description linguistics and behavioral psychology went on to become what is now a lingual method. Okay, at the next slide, typical technique. Larson 2045-50 give an expanded description of some common typical technique are closely related to audiolingual method. Okay, number 1, memorize dialogue. The student memorizes opening a dialogue using the mimicry and applied role-playing. Number 2, big word building expansion drill. The teacher breaks the line into several parts. Student repeat each part starting from the end of the sentences and expand big word through the sentence, adding each part in sequence. At last, the repetition exercise. The student repeat the teacher model quickly and accurately possible. And then chain drill. Students ask each other and answer one by one in circle kind around the classroom. A single slot substitution practice. The teacher states one line from the dialogue and then asks a word or phrases as a cue, and student when repeat a line must replace into the sentences in the correct place. At a double slot switching practice, some a single slot drill, expand the tree, and some cause the replace in the line. And a transformation drill, the teacher gives sentences that must be changed into someone else. For example, a question to turn into a statement, active sentences to be changed into negative statement. And a practice question and answer, the student must answer or ask question very quickly. At its minimal praise, analyzed teacher chose a pair of the word that read. Identical except from the one sound, which usually make a difficult student must be a pronunciation and then distinguish the two words. And complete the dialogue, the selected word will be removed from the line. The dialogue student must define and insert. At the last, grammar comes. Various games decided to be practiced grammar point at the context using alerts from the repetition. Okay, at the next slide. Several ways to learning audiolingual technique. Use practical and very simple because they make it easier to understand correctly. Okay, at the next slide will be presented by my partner, Silviana. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Annisa. So the next is next slide, please. Okay. The next is the principle of audiolingual methods. Busra 2001 described the principle of the audiolingual methods as following. The first is instruction are given in the target language. So number 2, language form occur in a context. Number 3 is the student mother tongue is as little distraction as possible. effort to acquire the target language. Number 4, teaching is direct at equipping students with native speakers such as. Number 5, analogies provide a better basics for language learning than analysis. Number 6, mistakes are avoided carefully as they lead to the formation of bad habits. Number 7, positive reinforcement helps students develop the right habits. Number 8, students are encouraged to learn to respond to verbal and non-verbal stimuli. Number 9, the teacher is considered as the orchestra leader who leads, quits, cuts, and constrains student behavior in the target language. Number 10, learning a foreign language. Language is treated as equal the mother language. The method audiolingual applied in the teaching language. So the language teaching the theoreticians and methodologists who developed audiolingualism not only had a convincing and powerful theory of language to draw upon, but they were also working in a period when a prominent school of American psychology, known as behavioral psychology, claimed to have tapped the secrets of all human learning, including language learning. So, behaviorism, like structural linguistics, is another fundamentalist, empirically based approach to the study of human behavior. To the behaviorism, the human being is an organism capable of a wide repertoire of behaviors. The occurrence of these behaviors is dependent on the three crucial elements in learning. First is a stimulus, which serves to to elicit behaviors. Two, response triggered by stimulus, and three, the reinforcement which serve to mark the response as being appropriate or inappropriate, and encourage the repetition or suppression of the response in the future. See Skinner 1957 and then Brown 1980. Okay, the next slide, please. So, some students Ashrafi at the method characteristic audiolinguals include the first, the AEM of language teaching is the mastery of the four balanced language skill, order of observing, or listening and speaking, then reading and writing. Number two, teaching the song system systematically or structure so that can be used or practiced by students with technique, demonstration, imitation, comparison, contrast, and others. Number three, the writing lesson is a representation of the lesson speaking, emphasizing sentence patterns and vocabulary words that have been learned orally. Number four, The teacher is the center of class activities. So, purpose of audiolingual method. The purpose of the audiolingual method is to create communicative ability in student. Anyway, uh, that's idea. Think that a more effective way to do this on learning to learn continuously. Overlearned, the language has been learned through extensive repetition and some kind of practice diligent. The idea is designed with the linguistic pattern of language into the learner's mind in a way that make automatic response and habitual or done out of habit. Audiolingual methods help then the language habit of the first language will automatically constant interfering and the only way to solve the problem. This is to make it easier to learn a new set of habits linguistically appropriate to the language being studied. Okay, that's all. Back to the you, Annisa. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, my partner Silviana. Okay, guys, this is enough for group 3. Thank you for your attention and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.